Hello and welcome to this video, which is to go over the process of reducing the image size and applying compression to make file sizes smaller for use on your website. I'm sure you understand the need for it. Basically, the larger an image on your web page, the slower the web page will load. Which is increasingly more important as a lot more people are accessing the web using phones and iPads over mobile networks. So for this process, I use a little application called Adapter, and I am on a Mac, but this is also available for a PC. So it's a free download. And once you've got this installed, then it's a very simple application to use because it basically does one thing very well, which is reduce file sizes. So if we have a look at the application window, the first thing you'll see here is a big source window. So this is basically where your source images are shown, and you can either drag and drop them, or you can select this button up here to navigate your files, your folder, sorry, to add them to this window. So I have an image that I'm just going to drag on the application window there. So this is the original image, and you can see here this is 6.6 meg currently, so it's quite a sizable image, and certainly far larger than you would ever put on a website. So the first thing we need to do is select the output format. Unless you've got a very good reason not to select JPEG, then JPEG is a very good format to use. Next one down is we're looking at our destination folder. So if you select your custom tab here and then select browse, and you can navigate to and also set up a new folder for your images to go, working down, the next most important thing really is your resolution. So this tab here, basically what this first bit refers to is the physical size of your image. So if we select same as source, what we're going to have is an image size that is 2,592 pixels by 3,888 pixels in height. So for use on a website, if you think about your a rough guide to the width of a website, if you think of it as being about 960 pixels wide, if you then think about how large you want or how the image is going to be displayed on the web page, you can basically guesstimate how big you want the optimized image to be. So if we say the width of this image is 2,592, we're thinking it's probably going to be a third of a page wide, so we could aim for about 350 pixels. It's better to overestimate rather than underestimate. So if I'm thinking I want this to be about a third of a page wide, I would say I would aim for about 360 pixels. So what we do is change this from same as source and then select custom. And then with aspect ratio locked, which means we can change one of these values and the other value will change corresponding to that size to keep the image at the same aspect ratio. So if we go width, let's say 360, the height you can see is just changed to 540, and what we end up with is an image which already has gone from 6.6 megabyte to 37 kilobytes. In terms of a rough idea of what you should be aiming for in terms of image sizes on websites, I would say if you've got more than 3 images on a web page, which most web pages have, I would be looking to get all of your images less than 50 kilobytes. 37 kilobytes is not a bad size for an image that is going to be a third of a page wide. That's actually very good. Now, the next selector that we've got available to us is actually the compression level. Now, if we go low, we actually take that image down to 13 kilobytes. If we go to a higher being an image rate that's not as fierce, I might say, you can see that's at almost 80 kilobytes. So if we drag this window, we can actually compare the sizes. So this is the original on the left, and this is the resized and compressed image on the right hand side. Now that's an 80 kilobyte, so you can see a 6.6 megabyte image. If we have a look at the leaf detail up in the right hand side, you can see how sharp that is. And at 80 kilobytes, you can see there's a bit of furriness. It's not as sharp, clearly. There's always going to be a compromise. If we then drop that to low, you'll see the image size is at 13 kilobytes. But you can also see the pixelation. There's a lot of detail that we've lost in those leaves. So if this is going to be an image that's fairly prominent on the website, I would be looking to up that a little bit. So let's have a look at medium. Looking at 37 kilobytes, and really I think the detail on those leaves is acceptable for me, and also the main subject, I don't see it as being too badly compromised, considering the amount of compression that we're actually applying to that. So at 37 kilobytes, it's less than 50 kilobytes, and it's still a third of a page wide. So to me, I would be looking at this as a very acceptable size. And then basically, we hit start. We don't have time to make a cup of tea, and that is done. So if we then navigate to where that file is, we can see it's at 38 kilobytes, and that's our image there. So to me, I think that's very acceptable. There's always going to be compromise, but always on the size of a smaller file size for your website, and you will do well. Thanks. See you again.